You worked hard this year. Maybe you got a raise, maybe even a promotion. And yet at the end of every single month, you feel like you're running on a treadmill that someone keeps secretly speeding up. You're doing everything right. You're saving. You're investing. You're following the advice. And still, it feels like you're falling behind.
Here's why.
And I promise you, by the time this video ends, you will never look at your paycheck the same way again. Billionaires like Elon Musk paid 0 federal income tax in 2018. Jeff Bezos did the same in 2007 and 2011. And the response from every financial guru on the internet is the same tired script: budget better, cut your subscriptions, make your coffee at home. But what if the reason you're struggling has nothing to do with your spending habits? What if the entire game was designed so that the harder you work, the more you pay, while the people who already have everything pay almost nothing? Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you is not a conspiracy theory. It is sitting right there in the US tax code in plain English, and nobody is talking about it. The mechanism is called buy, borrow, die. 3 words. And those 3 words explain more about wealth inequality in America than any politician's speech or economics textbook ever will. But here's what makes this genuinely different from every other video on this topic. We are not just going to expose the system. We are going to show you how to use the same logic yourself at your income level starting today. So, do not skip ahead. Every single section of this video builds on the last, and the part that will actually change your financial life is at the end. Here is the villain in this story. And it is not a person, it is not a loophole, it is a fundamental flaw in how the tax code defines income. When you go to work and earn a salary, the government sees that money the moment it hits your account. In 2026, if you earn between $44,000 and $200,000, the federal government takes between 22% and 32% before you see a single dollar. You never even get the chance to say no. That money is gone before it's yours. But when a billionaire's stock portfolio goes from $1 billion to $5 billion in value, the IRS sees absolutely nothing. Because it is not classified as income. It is called an unrealized gain. And unrealized gains are not taxed. Not in 2026. Not ever, until the moment you sell. The tax code was written in an era when wealth meant factories and cash rents. But modern billionaire wealth lives almost entirely in stock, real estate, and private equity, assets that grow silently in value without ever triggering a single taxable event. The system was not updated. And that gap, that massive, legal, government-approved gap, is where the entire strategy lives. So here is the obvious question. If a billionaire never sells their stock, how do they actually pay for anything? How do they buy the yacht, the mansion, the private jet? This is the moment that changes everything. They walk into a bank, hand over their stock portfolio as collateral, and borrow against it. And because a loan is not income, it has never been classified as income under US tax law, they pay 0 tax on that cash.
None.
They live on borrowed money. Their assets keep growing, and the IRS cannot touch a single dollar of it. Now, let's do the math, because this is where it stops being abstract and starts being personal. You need $500,000. Your investment portfolio is worth $1 million, so you do the logical thing and sell half. The IRS arrives immediately. In 2026, long-term capital gains tax runs up to 23.8%, including the net investment income surtax. On $500,000, that is $119,000 gone. You walk away with $381,000 in usable cash. And your portfolio is now permanently cut in half, interrupting decades of compounding growth that you will never fully recover. Now watch what happens in the billionaire version of that exact same scenario. Same $1 million portfolio. Same $500,000 need. They borrow $500,000 against the portfolio as collateral. Rates for securities-backed loans in 2026 sit between 4% and 6%. Tax paid on that $500,000?
0.
The portfolio stays whole. The compounding continues untouched. And here's the part that makes this almost unbelievable. That portfolio, left fully intact and growing at a historical average of 10% annually, generates $100,000 in growth per year. The interest on the loan costs $25,000. They are paying $25,000 to protect $100,000 in untaxed compounding. Net advantage, $75,000 a year, completely untouched by the IRS. You lost $119,000 to taxes before you even started. They gained $75,000 without paying a cent. And when do they ever actually pay taxes? The name of the strategy tells you.
Buy, borrow,
And then die. When a billionaire dies, their assets pass to their heirs. And under current U.S. tax law, those assets receive what is called a step-up in basis, meaning the original purchase price is legally reset to the current market value at the time of death. Every decade of unrealized gains, every dollar of growth that was never taxed during their lifetime, is wiped clean permanently. The heirs inherit the asset with a fresh slate and owe nothing on a lifetime of appreciation. ProPublica ran the numbers on the 25 wealthiest Americans. Between 2014 and 2018, their combined wealth grew by $401 billion. Their true tax rate on that growth was 3.4%. The average American worker is paying 22 to 32%. Let that land for a second. Now here is where this video becomes different from every other one you have watched on this topic. Most creators stop here and leave you feeling angry and powerless. We're not going to do that, because the scale of the strategy is exclusive to billionaires, but the logic is not. And there's a 3-step framework you can begin applying right now that mirrors the exact same architecture. It is called equity architecture, and it works at any income level. The first step is building what I call an anchor asset. The entire buy, borrow, die system rests on one non-negotiable foundation. You must own something that appreciates in value. Without that, there is nothing to borrow against and nothing to pass on. Your anchor asset does not need to be a massive stock portfolio. In 2026, home equity, taxable brokerage accounts, Roth IRAs, and small business equity all qualify. The rule I want you to apply is called the 3-year rule. Pick one appreciating asset and commit to not touching it, not liquidating it, and not second-guessing it for a minimum of 3 years. That is the minimum runway for compounding to begin working in your favor. Every wealthy family you have ever heard of started with one asset they refused to sell. The second step is building your leverage layer. Once you have an anchor asset with real value, you stop liquidating it every time you need capital, and you start learning to borrow against it instead. The most accessible version of this in 2026 is a home equity line of credit if you own a home, or a portfolio margin loan through brokerages like Schwab, Fidelity, or Interactive Brokers if you have a taxable investment account above roughly $25,000. Here is the rule that keeps this from becoming dangerous. Before you borrow against any asset, you must pass what I call the productive use test. Will this borrowed money generate a return that exceeds my interest rate? If the answer is yes, you borrow strategically. If the answer is no, you stop completely. That single question is the difference between the leverage that builds wealth and the debt that destroys it. The third step is what most people skip entirely, and it is the one that determines whether your wealth dies with you or multiplies after you. It is called the inheritance intention. The step-up in basis that erases a lifetime of capital gains at death is not exclusive to billionaires. It applies to every American. Most people just never structure their assets to take advantage of it. In 2026, a basic will, a revocable living trust, and updated beneficiary designations on your brokerage and retirement accounts are all you need to ensure your assets transfer with minimal tax friction. You do not need a dynasty trust. You need an intention and a document that reflects it. The wealthy do not beat the tax code. They build their lives inside the sections of the tax code that were never designed to tax them. They own assets instead of consuming. They borrow instead of selling. And they structure their estates so that the government collects as little as legally possible when they are gone. This is not cheating. This is the game, and now you know the rules. If this video changed how you see money, here is exactly what to do next. Subscribe right now because the next video breaks down the specific brokerage account types and account structures you need to build your own leverage layer, with real numbers, real platforms, and real steps. Share this video with one person in your life who is still being told their financial problems are a spending problem. They deserve to know the truth. And drop your single biggest financial question in the comments below. the most common question becomes the next script. You are not just watching this channel. You are directing it.
Hey everyone, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for more fun. It's super easy and you'll get all the updates.